And welcome back to another CBB Talk. It's Will Dickinson. We're here on a Saturday morning. We're ready to talk some more college basketball, and we've had a lot change over the last 3 days. We've had some great games. Of course, Wednesday was the big game, so we're gonna talk about that, but not just go through each game because we're going to focus more on Saturday and Sunday. But we will go through my changes in the top 25, and pretty much I'm just going to tell you the biggest shifters, throughout the last couple days, and then we'll preview Saturday, give you some picks, and then get out of here. But yeah, so that's the plan. I'm gonna go share my screen, and hopefully this works. All right, so yeah, we got the top 25 up here now. I don't even know if you can see me, so if you can, you can. If you can, cool. If you don't, then that's a little awkward. So of course we have no change in the top. Kansas survives a close one against Oklahoma. I don't know if that was Tuesday or Wednesday. Let's look. Was that Tuesday or Wednesday? That was Wednesday. Okay, that was Wednesday. So we already talked about that. Houston ends up being South Florida. It was a little close, but they're still number 2. Purdue got a big win yesterday against Nebraska. Let's talk about this Alabama-Arkansas game. Nick Smith came out here and has not played recently. He hasn't been, playing for Arkansas, and that's just that's going to be a real deal breaker when you're looking for Arkansas, who was a top 10 preseason team, and they're just not playing to that right now. You see, it was close throughout the game, tied at halftime. In the last like 4 or 5 minutes, Alabama goes on a crazy run to win it. Mark Sears, 26. Brandon Miller, he didn't get a lot of shots off. They played good defense on him. But Arkansas just right now struggle from offense. They're inconsistent. And right now, I dropped them completely out of my top 25. I'm not even giving them a consideration right now because they played really bad. They're 1-3, 1-4 in SEC play. And Alabama, you're still at number 4 on my list. But right now, I think they're the favorite in the SEC. They're a young team, but they shoot the ball so well. They play great defense and they get into transition, and they're going to score a lot of points off that. So a great win there by Alabama to stay at number 4. UCLA picks up win against Utah, won by a lot. UCLA, one of the more underrated teams, in my opinion. When these two teams play, I believe next Saturday, UCLA, Arizona, that will be a real, showing game. I think it's at Arizona, but still, if UCLA can pull that off, they may jump into that top 4. Tennessee destroyed someone. I can't remember who Tennessee destroyed. Maybe that was Tuesday. Yeah, I think that was Tuesday. So Tennessee, I'm not a lover of Tennessee, but again, they're playing really good at the moment. Kansas State, we already talked with them. Gonzaga survives one at BYU on a Julian Strother 3 to give him the lead. It wasn't a pretty game from Gonzaga, but that's a tough game. You're going into BYU, and they survived that game. They haven't played amazing so far. They almost lost to Houston. They've played some close games in the WCC. But yeah, they're surviving. They're still at number 9. These teams go up. Xavier takes care of Creighton in a close one by 3 at home. That's one where it wasn't it's kind of underrated that Creighton was only 2-point underdogs really on the road at a top 10 team really, and Xavier survives. They're playing really good basketball still. Iowa State and Texas got wins on Tuesday, but Marquette's the biggest jumper here this week. Marquette goes up 8 spots to number 13 after knocking off UConn at home 82-76. That's a great game for Marquette. Eduardo had 19, Prosper 17, Cam Jones 15. Marquette and Shaka Smart are turning around their second season and going to be a tournament team 2 years in a row. He's doing a great job there. UConn just didn't have a good game from Sonogo. 20 points off the bench for Klingon. He really outperformed his counterpart, or his teammate Sonogo in that one, but not enough. I dropped UConn 9 spots to 14. They're just not playing like that top 5 team they were a couple weeks ago. I dropped them to 14. I respect their resume because they got wins over Alabama. They destroyed Alabama. They're still a good team. They got wins over Alabama and Iowa State. 2 good ones there, and they both beat them by like 20 each. So I do still have UConn 14th, but right now in recent play, you gotta drop them. Miami staying at 15. There's not a lot of movement in these four teams. TCU did take an L to Texas, but I moved Texas at 1 because of that. I'm not really changing my opinion because Texas won at 4 on the road. They were favored by 6. It's a game Texas should win, so I don't drop TCU for a loss there. Mike Miles is playing really good though. We got some movement down low because we had teams that dropped out: Missouri, Michigan, and Arkansas. I mentioned, so all these teams going up. Clemson, still undefeated in ACC play. St. Mary's, San Diego State, playing really well. Charleston survives one against UNC Wilmington on the road. That was a tough game. FAU still playing really good basketball. Big game against North Texas coming up. Baylor still looking really good. Not really good, but they finally got a Big 12 win, so they're getting in there. And then Illinois, yesterday, Friday, gets a big win against the Michigan State team at home. Wins by 9, a good second half. So Illinois is playing better. Danger had 20, Matthew Myers 19, Shannon 17. Only 10 points off the bench. But I still like Illinois. They struggled earlier for like 2 weeks, and they're back playing really good basketball. So I put them at 25. But watch Duke, who had big wins. Auburn is playing really good. Rutgers, and then Missouri, Michigan State could still get back into this thing. So far, those were the movements between Saturday and Sunday. And now we're just gonna move on to our Saturday and Sunday preview. So let's get it. Wait, how do I pause it? All right, so let's get into this weekend preview. College shirt of the day, Duke. I almost forgot, but I didn't forget about winning the college shirt. I forgot about telling you about it. So yeah, we're wearing a Duke shirt today. As a North Carolina person, I gotta have a Duke shirt. I went to a game last year, in Coach K's final year. It was a game against Georgia Tech. It was actually really boring. Duke did not play good at all. Paolo was not good that game. They ended up winning because Georgia Tech was not good. But yeah, I did go to a game last year. I've been to 2 Duke games. It's Cameron Indoor is one of the coolest stadiums I've probably ever been to. Probably my favorite college basketball stadium. It's just so different from if you go to a Carolina game, how big it is, and you go to Cameron, and it's just different. It's so cool there, and yeah, I mean, once in a lifetime experience that I think everyone should at least experience once in their life. I just said once in a lifetime experience, then whatever, who cares? Let's move on to this weekend preview. We got a game at 12 o'clock. We got some 12 o'clock games to talk about. We got Miami going to NC State. NC State's playing good as recent. They blew out Duke at home. Cravion Smith's a great player. Miami going on the road. That's a test. NC State's -3. Sorry. NC State's -3 at home. This is a win for NC State if they want to start building this tournament resume. They already got a good win over Duke. If they can get another one over Miami, that would be really telling. And NC State is starting to get into the ACC conversation after starting off the ACC a little poorly. They're playing better recent. Miami, you need this one. Took a tough L. Who did they lose to? Was it like Boston? Was Boston College or something? They lost a weird game in there, trying to pick back one up in ACC play. Then we got Kentucky going to play Tennessee on the road. This is just a tough one for Kentucky after losing at home to South Carolina. Now you're going on the road in Thompson Bowling Arena, and you're just probably Tennessee's 11-point favorites. I would take Tennessee probably to cover that 11-point. Kentucky's just really struggled recently. West Virginia on the road at Oklahoma. 2 teams that are just trying to hold on right now. Oklahoma's lost a lot of tough games in here, and so has West Virginia. One of these teams needs to win badly to keep their hope alive. Going on 1 o'clock. Nothing really great at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock CBS game. Wisconsin going at a real struggling Indiana team. Both these teams on losing streaks. Wisconsin needs Tyler Wall back there. 0-2 without him, I believe. And Indiana has lost 3 in a row. I don't know if they have a win in Big Ten play. They might have only one. They're not playing good at all, and they need a win at home to just keep their season afloat. Because a loss here, that's detrimental. A home game, and Wisconsin, if you lose this game and Tyler Wall doesn't play, I'm a little concerned. I wasn't believing Wisconsin. I never had him in my top 25, but a win here would be big for Wisconsin to get back on the right track. Arkansas goes at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt played Missouri really good last week. Watch Arkansas could slip up. 2:00. We have a really good one in the Big 12. We have Kansas State going at TCU. TCU's 4-point favorites. Thing about TCU is they struggle against really good teams on the road, but they're at home here. They've now lost 2 in a row to Iowa State and Texas. They need this one here against Kansas State. Kansas State's one of the hottest teams in the nation, one of the best stories in the nation. If Kansas State wins this game, bro, I might shoot them up. Like they're Keontae Johnson, Noel. I can't remember his first name. Marquez Noel, I think is his name. Marquise Noel. He's played insanely well, and Keontae Johnson is too. This Kansas State team is one of the best stories in college basketball, and a win here on the road at TCU, that would be really just mind blowing. But I'm gonna have TCU cover this 4 points. Not been a good week for TCU. They need a win. I think they've been really struggling since I think Saturday. They are now 0-3 in football and basketball, so they need a win there. Another 2:00 one is a mid-major showdown. I remember I talked about FAU playing UAB. Now they host. FAU hosts North Texas. North Texas was the favorite in Conference USA going in this year. FAU said, nope, we're the best. They're 15-1 this year. A win here in FAU is going to really make me consider how good this team is. North Texas can get this win because right now it's a 1-bid lead. If Conference USA can keep both these teams really good and they play each other in the championship, it could be a 2-bid league for Conference USA. Providence goes on the road at Creighton. Creighton is 6.5-point favorites at home. Remind you, Creighton is 9-8. Providence is undefeated in Big East play. Give me Providence on the road, maybe to win outright. They're -6.5. I would bet that's +6.5 for Providence. They're playing really good, really good. Ed Cooley's led this team back to one of the favorites in the Big East after last year having that miracle season, and they're doing it again. So shout out to Providence. And that is a weird line for Creighton. I know they're playing. They've been injured this year with Ryan Kalkbrenner, but I just don't know how well they're playing. Ryan Nembhard hasn't been 100%. Kalumu hasn't lived up to expectations. Baylor Scheinman's been up and down. I think Providence is a more consistent team. I think they can pull that one out for sure. UNC plays at Louisville, two disappointing teams. UNC should definitely clean that one up. And then on 2 p.m. ESPN Plus, another kind of mid-major, the American Conference is a team that's, if the American wants to be a 2 or 3 bid league, one of these teams has to be it, and it's UCF and Tulane. Tulane and UCF probably the two best, the 2 and 3rd best teams with Memphis and in the American. Whatever team wins that one's going to set themselves up for a good at-large case because Houston right now is probably going to run away with the American. I'm trying to go 4:00. Oh, here's this is an ESPN Plus game, by the way. Iowa State going into Lawrence. In my rankings, that is the number 11 team versus the number 1 team. And that is an ESPN Plus game. Can't really do anything about that. Kansas 7.5-point favorites at home. They've struggled at home so far. They have won other games, but they barely beat Oklahoma. They barely beat Oklahoma State, both at home. I think Iowa State's going to play it close. I think they could cover the 7.5-point spread. But watch Jalen Wilson, Gabe Kalsha. That's a great matchup. Grady Dick, Caleb Grill, 2 great shooters. Kansas should win this game. I think they're the best team in the country, but Iowa State's going to definitely keep it close against this team. Alabama hosts LSU. Alabama's playing really, really well. They're 15-point favorites, and LSU struggled in their last couple games. So I expect an Alabama win there. Going down. Virginia plays at Florida State. Florida State, for some reason, always plays Virginia good. I could definitely see Virginia being a close game. I'm not saying they're going to lose this game. A big one at 5:00 in the ACC. A team that I have in mind, and a team that's just out. It's Duke going at Clemson, and guess what? Clemson's that team I actually have in my top 25, and Duke out. It's a pick'em game. It's really hard to decide. Clemson's 6-0 in ACC play. They're playing really well. Clemson's been a NCAA tournament team, in the last couple of years, not last year, but the years before that. And Duke right now is finally playing not what we expected them to be, but better from what they were earlier in the season. Flip Kelsey's really been the best player. They've had people like Dariq Whitehead step up. They still haven't got the play they want from Lively. And with Jeremy Roach out, who can be that lead guard for them? That's a challenge for Duke if they can not turn the ball over, because right now they rely a lot on Flipkowski and Whitehead to create their own shots. I think Clemson could definitely pull off this upset. This would be a huge win for Clemson basketball, because expect them in the rankings on Monday if they can get this win. Duke wants to keep their ranking alive if they win this game, because if you lose, people will start talking, oh, what's going on with Duke, for people that just are casuals in the college basketball space. That's a very tough one. I think Duke will pull it out. I know I have Clemson high ranked. It's just because they got the better resume. They're 6-0 ACC play. I have to respect that. But I think Duke can go into Clemson and win this one. But it's going to be close. I'm not 100% confident in that Duke pick. But if I had to lean one side, I would go Duke. But I would definitely, try to stay away from that one. Arizona goes on the road against Oregon. Oregon's been real disappointing this year, and Arizona's now lost 2 Pac-12 games. So watch out for that one. Baylor hosts Oklahoma State. Baylor needs another Big 12 win to go, 2-0 this week. Get back on the right track. Maybe sneak back into the rankings. Oklahoma State is 9-7, but they play every team tough. So expect that one to be close. Going through. UCLA should definitely take care of Colorado. Texas Tech is not a tournament team this year. They go on the road against Texas. Expect Texas to win that one. Mississippi State, who was supposed to be a really good team. I think they were 11-10. Now they're 12-4. Not playing good basketball in this SEC play. Goes on the road at Auburn. And what I say, you don't usually go on the road at Auburn and win. So give me Auburn to win this one. They're 8-point favorites, but I think Auburn could win by double digits, even though I'm not even a big fan of Auburn. 9 o'clock, New Mexico. Remember, they were undefeated. Now they've lost 2 in a row, I believe, or maybe 2 of the last 3. They go on the road at San Diego State. If New Mexico wants to keep their NCAA at large hopes alive, they should need to at least, be in a tight one down the stretch or win this game. San Diego State's, after that slow starts, played really good of recent, and I expect them to win this game at home. The Aztecs playing really good basketball, and shout out to Matt Bradley, one of the better players in college basketball, and probably, the Conference Player of the Year over there. And then really it is, you got St. Mary's going at San Francisco. San Francisco plays good at home, almost beat Gonzaga. St. Mary's, this could be a tough one on the road. You should get this one done to be that second team out of the WCC to make it. So that's all for Saturday. Let's go look at Sunday. And of course, we have NFL playoffs today, so a lot of people will be tuned in that. I'll be tuned in the NFL players, of course, because, it's freaking NFL playoffs. NFL playoffs. Also, I'm head coaching a basketball team today, so I'm locked in on that too. Getting in the right mindset, because I'm not an experienced coach by any means, but I know what it takes to get a dub. And NFL playoffs will probably be number one priority, but I'm definitely gonna be still watching some college ball. On Sunday, you got Marquette going at Xavier. Whew. That's a tough one. That's a really good game on Fox. 2 of the hottest teams in the Big East. We don't know. Providence could lose this game to Creighton, and boom, the 2 top teams in the Big East. Xavier at home, this is going to give me the edge in this one. I don't know what the spread is, but I would say Xavier's going to win this because they're at home. Marquette plays really good in Milwaukee, and same for Xavier in Cincinnati. I think Xavier's going to win this one. If Marquette can win this one on the road, they're shooting up into the top 10. If Xavier, wins by 5 or more, they might shoot. They're already in the top 10. They could shoot up higher with teams falling out. But that is a really good game at 12 of Fox. Because that'll be before I think the football game start at 1 or so. So yeah, definitely tune into that one. Ohio State, who lost to Minnesota, who's the worst team in the Big Ten, goes on the road to Jersey Mike's and Rutgers. I think Rutgers should win this game. Rutgers, again, they're always an interesting team, but I think they're a tournament team this year. And a win here would just probably boost them into my top 25. And then Maryland, who, struggled of recent, their offense is finally getting back. They're going at Iowa, who had that crazy game against Michigan, that and won 3 to force OT, and then they pull it out in OT. Iowa is on a little hot streak. Chris Murray playing like Keegan out there, and I was trying to get another at-large case because the Big Ten, is such a competitive league. But if they can finish in that top 6, 7, near that 5 range, they would definitely be in there come March. So yeah, that's my weekend preview. We got the NFL games. As a team, a fan of a team that's not in it. I don't know who to root for. I like the Ravens, but I don't think they're gonna win. Like Ravens are one of my top teams because my mom's from Baltimore, but they're not going to beat the Bengals. So why would I think? Why do I have any confidence? Why would I even root for them when they're definitely going to lose? Of course, I want the Cowboys to lose. That's like my number one thing. My number one wish is on Monday for the Cowboys to lose. Jags Chargers should be one of the best games out there. Vikings Giants. I remember for Vikings is Kirk Cousins. But yeah, that's really it. Not really pulling for any team too aggressively. Besides the Bucks, hopefully beating the Cowboys. I'm rooting for any team that's playing the Cowboys. Hopefully, it just be one game. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching another episode. Duke shirt today. Will my Duke shirt lead him to win? I don't know, because on Wednesday, was I wearing an Arkansas shirt? What shirt was I wearing when I did the Wednesday episode? No, it wasn't. It wasn't an Arkansas shirt, was it? It might have been an Arkansas shirt. I don't even remember. Yeah, I don't remember. It might have been an Arkansas shirt. Anyways, because I was gonna say, dude, the shirts I wanted to make the team win. I don't know. Thanks for watching this episode number 14. I'm not even totally sure anymore. Peace out.